Hello my dear CMA inter students, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss very important AS of financial accounting, that is AS 16, borrowing cost. So what is borrowing cost, my dear student? So borrowing costs are interest and other costs related to borrowing of fund. That means whenever we borrow the money, we need to pay the interest on that borrowing, or whenever we borrow the money we need to pay other cost like processing fees. So that amount we call as a borrowing cost, right? Next, my dear student, when the borrowing costs are eligible for capitalization, because the interest cost, we have two accounting treatment. That borrowing cost, are you going to charge to P&L account or are you going to capitalize the borrowing cost, right? So when to capitalize the borrowing cost or when to charge the borrowing cost to P&L account? So for that purpose we have to see the eligibility for capitalization, right? So when the borrowing cost is related to acquisition, construction and production of qualifying asset, whenever the borrowing cost is related to acquisition, construction and production of qualifying asset, that time we can capitalize the borrowing cost. But then what is qualifying assets, sir? Qualifying asset means are those assets which take substantial period of time to get ready for its intended use or sale. Qualifying asset doesn't mean asset is ready to use. No, it is taking time to get ready to use. It's taking substantial period of time to get ready for its intended use or sale. Then what do you mean by substantial period of time, sir? Substantial period of time means what? 12 months. Sir, can a substantial period of time less than 12 months? Yes, based on the situation. Next, my dear student, sir, we understood what is borrowing cost. We understood when to capitalize the borrowing cost, but how many types of borrowings are there, sir? So there are two types of borrowing. Number one, specific borrowing, and number two, general borrowing. So what is specific borrowing? Are those borrowing funds which are obtained for the purpose of acquiring specific qualifying asset. You borrow the money and that borrowing you are using to acquire the fixed asset. That type of borrowing is called specific borrowing. And what your borrowing cost you incurred on the specific borrowing, it has to be capitalized, means that interest has to be added to the cost of the asset, my dear student. Next, general borrowing. So what is general borrowing? Are those borrowing which are related to acquisition of qualifying asset and others. Because you borrow the money, that money you can use for the purpose of acquiring qualifying asset and for the purpose of working capital also, right? So now, because it is not a specific borrowing, it is a general borrowing. So in case of general borrowing, the accounting treatment, they said the borrowing cost related to qualifying asset will be capitalized, and for other asset it will charge to profit and loss, my dear student, right? Next one, sir, what will be the recognition criteria? Then you taught us now what is borrowing cost, right? Next, what are the types of borrowing cost? Next, what are the recognition criteria for borrowing cost? So borrowing costs are capitalized as part of cost of the qualifying asset when it is probable that it will result in future benefit to the enterprise. And second, the cost can be measured reliably. If these two criteria fulfill, then you can capitalize the borrowing cost. Next, commencement of capitalization. Now, sir, when capitalization will commence? When it is suspended and when it is ceased. That means stop. So commencement of borrowing cost, there are three conditions. One, expenditure for the acquisition, construction or production of qualifying asset is being incurred. That means you have to incur the expenditure which are relating to acquisition, construction or production of qualifying asset. Number 2, borrowing costs are being incurred. Interest costs you must incur. And next one is activity that are necessary to prepare the asset for its intended use or sale is in progress. That means the qualifying asset should be in progress, right? Like a construction of building, right? So construction of building is in process. Building is not ready. You have taken the loan, and that loan you are using for the purpose of construction of building, right? So that means building is in process. So whatever loan you will interest you will pay for the construction of building, right? What interest you will pay for the loan which you acquire, the loan which you take, which you have taken, that interest on that loan will be what, sir? Capitalized, right? That means commencement of capitalization. Next, suspension of capitalization. So suspension is always for temporary purpose, my dear student. Capitalization of borrowing cost should be suspended during the extended period in which active development is interrupted. Whenever your active development is interrupted, that time you should suspend the capitalization of borrowing cost. It means, my dear student, you cannot charge the interest, okay, to the asset. That means you cannot add the interest in the asset. You can capitalize the interest. You have to charge the interest to the statement of profit and loss. Next, my dear student, cessation of capitalization. When the capitalization will get stopped. So capitalization of borrowing cost should be ceased when substantially all the activity necessary to prepare the qualifying asset for its intended use or sales are completed. That means, my dear student, whenever all the necessary activity are completed, that time you should cease the capitalization of borrowing cost. You should stop the capitalization of borrowing cost, right, my dear students? I hope it is clear. Next, the disclosure. What is the disclosure we need to give? The financial statement should disclose the accounting policy adopted for borrowing cost, the amount of borrowing cost capitalized during the year, my dear students, right? So I hope this revision will help you for your preparation, my dear students. Now I request everyone, so please subscribe our YouTube channel for more updated video. Thank you, my dear students. It's time to say tata bye bye to everyone with a beautiful smile on a beautiful face. Thank you, my dear students. All the best for your preparation.